Some criminals seem convinced that a little confidence can cover a lot of bad decisions. But every reckless plan has a way of leaving clues behind. And tonight's stories show just how quickly overconfidence can turn into something far more interesting. The suspect walked in with a rifle, but the 80-year-old store owner pulled out his own gun and fired back. That robbery ended the moment the owner decided he wasn't going to be an easy victim. The escape plan looked great until the room filled with fog. It's hard to make a clean getaway when you can't even find the exit. These thieves clearly knew what they wanted. They ignored the bulky iPads, grabbed the expensive iPhones, and headed straight for the getaway car. Unfortunately for them, escaping turned out to be much harder than breaking in. The security barrier stopped the BMW, the tire blew out, and the license plate practically solved the case for the police. She walked in wearing an elephant hat, pointed a gun, and expected everyone to cooperate. Instead, the employee grabbed the weapon, and suddenly the elephant was the one running away. These two came prepared. One jumped the counter stuffing phones into a bag while the other kept everyone at gunpoint. The whole robbery was over in seconds. She tried the classic grab and run. Too bad the repair shop owner hit the lock button before she hit the exit.
You gonna give me my screen back or you're gonna go home? Which one is it? All you have to do is give me the phone, let me take the screen off, and I'll let you go. She tried to run out of the store.
Okay.
And I told her, I'll take the screen off, and we can be done with this. She wasn't having it. The screen is $125.
You only charged me $75.
I knew you were doing this. Honey, I've been doing this for 30 years. He never comes. No.
The thief reached in to grab a free soda. Instead, he was met by two people who were already waiting to grab his arm. Talk about an unexpected grab. This wasn't a robbery, it was a live comedy show. One thief crashed through the glass door, immediately tripped, got pinned under a display rack, then fell again before running away. The only thing they managed to steal was everyone's attention. and they left the repair bill for the broken glass behind. This guy walked into the motel with a knife expecting quick cash. Instead, the clerk refused to cooperate, slipped into the back room, called 911, and left him standing there with nothing to show for it. That's about the shortest robbery attempt you'll ever see. This guy loaded up a shopping basket and thought he'd casually walk right out. Instead, an employee held onto the basket and sprayed air freshener straight into his face. That might have been the freshest failed shoplifting attempt ever. This wasn't a burglary, it was an obstacle course. First the rope lost, then the shelves lost, and in the end the thief admitted defeat and walked out the emergency exit. The loudest part of this robbery wasn't the sledgehammer, it was the sound of the plan falling apart. Mall security was already chasing him before he even made it out, and police caught him with all 14 stolen rings. These guys brought an SUV to steal an ATM, but forgot to check whether the ATM wanted to leave. Turns out it was a lot more attached to the floor than they were determined to move it. Breaking through the first door probably had them feeling like action movie stars. Then the security door reminded them they were just amateurs. Stealing a few items wasn't worth getting kicked across the convenience store. Sometimes the regret hits even before you make it out the door. Stealing packages during the holidays is low enough. But doing it with police patrols nearby? This porch pirate's getaway lasted about as long as the walk to the front door. He looked way too comfortable doing this. That kind of confidence usually comes from practice. And that's what makes repeat thieves so dangerous. They almost got away with a lawnmower, but they didn't count on one very loud dog. The barking exposed the whole plan. The homeowner confronted them, and their getaway became a panic-filled sprint. The funniest part is how confidently that dog walked off with the pillow. No barking, no chaos, just one very happy pup borrowing a pillow for a little adventure. Imagine being so mad at a doorbell camera that you grab pliers and a hammer instead of just talking to your neighbor. The best part? Every failed attempt just gave the police another crystal clear video. He ran through the subway like he was in an action movie. The ending wasn't Hollywood, though. It ended with handcuffs. He smashed the window, hoping for an easy robbery. Instead, the bakery employees turned their brooms into self-defense weapons and chased him right back out the door. The robber was giving his best "give me the money" speech, and the receptionist looked at him like, "Please take a number and wait your turn."
Hurry up! Hurry up, she's about to leave.
Nothing says amateur thief quite like driving away with your trunk wide open and leaving your stolen loot scattered all over the parking lot. They planned the robbery, threatened the employees, and carried the safe all the way to the car. Somehow, the only thing they forgot was making sure it stayed there.
Does anybody know this guy?
He stopped in for a slice of pizza, then casually took the Parmesan cheese shaker with him. Now that's the cheesiest theft of the day.
Asshole.
The robbery plan lasted about 20 minutes before everything fell apart. Thanks to the honest people who found those packages, this story ended better than the thief expected. He asked to see the rifle, loaded it with his own magazine, and fired. What started as a routine customer interaction turned into a shocking moment caught in the middle of a pawn shop. He walked in expecting everyone to freeze in fear, but instead ran into employees who were far braver than he ever anticipated. In the end, that fake gun didn't fool anyone. This might be the most expensive can of Pepsi ever. One unpaid drink turned into damaged property, criminal charges, and a video that's going to follow him around a lot longer than the soda ever would have. He walked in expecting cash. Instead, two employees tackled him before he could get very far. That robbery ended a lot differently than he imagined. That smoke machine deserves a raise. It did more to stop the robbery than the thieves did to plan it. He came for the cashier's money, but forgot one important detail. There were brave customers standing nearby. Nothing ruins a robbery faster than a crowd refusing to let you win. They kicked the game machines, jumped on the ATM, trashed the place, and still left with exactly $0. That's a lot of cardio for absolutely nothing. This Subway inside Hull Paragon interchange wasn't just serving sandwiches that day, it served up instant karma. The thief thought he'd make an easy escape with the charity box, but a brave member of the public had other plans. The theft ended with the most awkward staring contest in the world. The thief looked like he had nowhere left to go, while the store owner looked like he was waiting for him to explain himself. This robber picked the wrong Citgo on Route 9. He expected the cashier to hand over the money, but instead got someone willing to fight back. After a struggle, one shot into the ground, and a panicked getaway, he left with nothing except more charges waiting for him. He smashed a display case at Michael Hill Jewelers, grabbed 2 gold chains, and thought he was headed for an easy payday. Then brave shoppers chased him. He dropped both chains while running and escaped with absolutely nothing. He planned to steal 2 cases of beer, but his pants had other plans. One stumble, beer went flying everywhere, and the convenience store suddenly turned into the funniest video of the day. That Sardinia convenience store deserves a 5-star review just for the cashier's composure. The robber expected fear, but instead got ignored, watched his money bag tossed aside, and walked away looking completely defeated. The surveillance footage did all the talking. At that point, the only thing left for him to say was, "Yep, that's me." Nope. Even with the evidence happening right in front of him, he somehow convinced himself everything was going according to plan. That's Olympic-level denial.
No, man, that's not me. What you mean?
He came looking for valuables, but ended up running for his life instead. That dog made it crystal clear who really owned the house. This robber thought Gungahlin Marketplace would be an easy payday. But one good Samaritan had other plans. Instead of escaping with the woman's cash, he ended up stopped in his tracks and under arrest. That's what happens when you rob the wrong crowd. He stole the cash, looked up, saw the camera, and suddenly decided he wasn't a thief anymore. That smile said, "Let's all pretend this never happened." That's not a baby bump. That's an unpaid shopping cart. Turns out hiding everything under your clothes doesn't fool loss prevention for very long. He covered his face, but forgot about the one thing that needed securing, his pants. Turns out, a belt would have been a better investment than a robbery. He planned a professional robbery and accidentally filmed the funniest audition for a slapstick comedy I've ever seen. And this is the most wholesome anti-package theft video ever. Mom went into full security mode, and her poor daughter accidentally became the prime suspect. Every case in this collection is a reminder that poor judgment has a way of revealing itself, no matter how carefully it's disguised. Sometimes it takes quick thinking, sometimes teamwork, but bad decisions rarely stay hidden for long. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves true crime stories.